Hello, my name is Jim Kay and I'm the illustrator of the illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. When we first approached the Goblet of Fire, we knew straight away that it would be a very action-packed, very dynamic book. And luckily for me, it's divided into three nice convenient chunks. You've got the three separate trials. Right from the beginning, I think we were looking forward to doing something a bit more dynamic, a bit more more movement in the page and more action in general. So Ludo and Barty appear in the book on opposite pages, I think because they are fundamentally very opposite people and they antagonise each other a bit, you know. You've got Barty Senior, who's very authoritarian by the book, loves the rules. He's opposite Ludo Bagman, who's more flaunts the rules. He's, likes a bit of gambling, sports and all that, he's let himself go to seed a bit. And also their outfits as well. I've got this very vertical, very attenuated, tall, thin character on the right in a pinstripe suit, whereas Bagman's more horizontal. He's got stripes going this way, in his Wasps Quidditch kit, They're very much opposite ends of the spectrum, really, visually. I quite like that. It helps to balance characters out, I think. So one of my favourite characters is Rita Skeeter. Why I like her is because she's wonderfully described in the book. She's got large mannish hands and she's a bit of a grotesque, actually. And for that particular portrait, it's quite nice because she's got this very distinct colour palette to it. She has these green glasses, and the beetle, Animagus form that she occupies, is pink and green as well. So the whole painting is based around those two colours. It was tricky though because she's in a broom cupboard lit by a candle, which is not an easy thing to do, but it means you can have fun with the objects in the broom cupboard. So there are things in the background that I just threw in for fun. Have a look, see what you can see. Any excuse to do details that aren't asked for, then I'm up for that, Cedric, yeah, he has to be a bit dishy, but he's quite stoic as well, quite settled and stable. He seems, quite a well-rounded, comfortable in his own skin. He's one that people are very precious about, he has to be right. And tragic as well, ultimately, as a heroic figure that gives everything, really. For that particular scene, we just went with the actual moment of it happening, that strange moment just between, life and death, where one moment you're a character that's got ambitions and hopes and dreams, and the next minute you're just this thing, inanimate object, and he's reduced to just almost like a rag doll being flung backwards. So Crumb, to me, because he's a bit of a rock star, he's based on guitarists like Bernard Butler and also Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead, because he's a cool but slightly awkward looking thin guy. And I love this dichotomy that you have with Crumb, that in the air he's this elegant, beautiful flying machine, he's just amazing. And yet in real life he's quite duck-footed, I think Joe describes him as. So he's a bit awkward on the ground, a bit like a bird, he waddles about on the ground, but in the sky he's fantastic. And that's a great character. I'm glad he pops up again, actually, because I'd like to show him more. I've often been asked, do you worry about how the fans will receive your illustrations? And yes is the answer, because if you care about something, you worry about it, and I really care about this because it's so important to people. It's a happy privilege, really, I think, and how lovely that people do look forward to seeing your work.